I'm not going to say I bit off more than I can chew, but I probably bit off more than I want to chew. My goal is to get this 1969 VW convertible going before summer. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to preface this video by saying this isn't going to be a restoration. It's not going to be a show car. This is going to be a patch it up, get it safe, and have fun driving it. So let's start by showing you all the work that needs to be done. I'll start out with the obvious. It needs floors. I got a little carried away and didn't get any footage of taking the floors out, but there wasn't much left, so there's maybe 5 seconds of footage of that. I'm gonna need new brake lines. And I was hoping I could get away with just swapping out the pans, driving it this summer, and then tearing it apart this winter and changing the rest of it, but the whole front half of that heater channel is missing. So there's nothing to bolt the pans to, so I'm gonna have to do pans and channels before I can drive it. The front beam is rotted out on both sides, so I'm gonna swap out the front beam. I believe that Bradley GT I got has a decent front beam in it. Side note, if anybody wants a Bradley GT body cheap, I'll sell you one. Now, a question for the audience out there. I do have a disc brake conversion kit. So you think I should put disc brakes in it or leave the drums? I also have the option of stock height spindles or lowered spindles. I'm still debating on if I want to drop this down or leave it stock height. They look cool drop down, but you can drive over curbs when you leave them stock height, which is kind of fun too. The front bumper and front apron are mangled up, but that doesn't affect the driving, so I'll probably hold off on doing that until this winter. There's the other shock tower with all the rottenness. They did weld some bracing in there, so. More rotten heater channels. Back here I'll probably just go through all the brakes, replace all the lines and wheel cylinders, just because it's been sitting for so long. The boots look okay, and in my experience, 30-year-old stock boots last longer than brand new boots. I may have to do some replacing on the auto stick lines. I'll probably do a full separate video on that because online I see a lot of people asking about getting their lines replaced, and everybody tells them take it to a hydraulic shop. And yes, a hydraulic shop can do it, but these fittings are threaded on, so you can do it yourself at home. I'm gonna have to pull the engine out. You did see me get it running in a previous video, so you know it runs, but it does have some end play. Being a single port H case, normally I'd probably just run it until it dies and then figure it out. But I did get a birth certificate for this, and it is the numbers matching original engine, so I've got to take care of it just in case a future owner wants to restore it back to original condition. There it is, the original H case number. I rebuilt the carb and the fuel pump. I haven't posted that video yet, but I'll do that when I get to the rest of the fuel system. I'll include that. Let's see if I can get some footage of the end play on here. If you can see the end play, there's too much. I got all the pan bolts out. Well, at least the ones that did come out. There's probably about 6 that are just spinning in there. Only broke one though. At least so far. Every time I touch it, rust rains down on me. Mouse. So I might end the video here. If you want to see me attempt to make this thing drive again, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you know when the next video comes out. I'll see you on the next one.